Hello everyone, long time no see. What if the Philippines became the heart of a new Spanish kingdom in the 12th century? We are about to find out. We are starting as Rodrigo Díaz de Vivar, better known as El Cid. So first we'll prove our loyalty to the king and then we'll set out on one final adventure. This video was suggested by Sir Ignacio. Thanks a lot. Also, thanks to each and every one of you for reaching 1k subscribers. That really means a lot to me. If you haven't joined the club of these cool kids, you definitely should. Rodrigo Díaz the Campeador and his loyal vassals. Descended from noble lineage, Rodrigo entered the royal council at a very young age. At the service of Sancho II of Castile, Rodrigo trained in both courtly and martial matters under the careful watch of the king. However, Sancho's war against his brother Alfonso VI of Leon would lead to his premature death, and Alfonso would then come to exile Rodrigo, inadvertently starting his legend. Will Rodrigo grow to become known as El Cid, the Lord, and emerge as king in his own right, or will he remain a regular nobleman? Let's start in and find out. It is worth mentioning that I think Paradox changed the storyline a bit for mechanical and game reasons. They've decided to let the exile happen while Sancho is still alive, so technically Sancho has exiled Rodrigo, but that shouldn't bother us too much for our story. By order of the king, I place my foot on the stirrup, tap my horse's head and take a last look at the place I will always call home. Exile. King Sancho's words left no room for error. I had once defeated him in a battle that he could not forget about. A crow flies on our right, a bad omen. Right, so that starts the special story cycle of El Cid, where we can prove our loyalty to the king or choose to become disloyal to him. We will choose to become loyal in the future. We will just try to maintain a level of loyalty that does not bring us an end to the story too early, because as long as the story is going on, there is a chance to gain 2 special swords from the story of El Cid. So we are starting out as an adventurer, just doing normal adventurer tasks and trying to gain as much mercenary contracts as possible, because in every battle we have a chance to get one of the 2 special swords. This over here is our king, Sancho II, and over here is his rival Alfonso VI, who we seek to ultimately beat in the name of Sancho, but more to that later on. This is the hero of our story, Captain Rodrigo de Vivar. Just wanted to show off how OP he actually is with 29 martial and 27 prowess, 4-star general, and I think 3 commander traits, and also his special trait Campeador over here, giving martial, prowess, prestige, and culture opinion. That is one of the most badass characters I think you can choose on martial things. Oh, and our king already has inherited Galicia by their 3rd brother, Garcia, who is always a bit sidelined. Good for him. Look how OP we are as a general. We actually got it. Restoration from the elbow down. The battle crashes around me. The shadow of birds flying over the armies keeps getting thicker. It's not hard to spot Mohammed, wearing his arms on the breastplate. Come on, I tap my steed and start charging towards him. Just one duel can end it all. Down to the belt, through helm and mail, I cleave the enemy in twain, from the elbow down dripping his blood. We now get to choose what to do with the sword. We can take the sword for our own, or we could send it to King Sancho to prove our loyalty. We will of course keep it. This was the battle. This the day when the great sword won. The sword, what a beauty. Look at that, prestige, renown, minus 10% man-at-arms maintenance and plus 25% light cavalry toughness. Restoration, an honorable man. That now concludes the story of El Cid with the full loyalty ending. It is with great surprise that I receive a new guest in my tent. King Sancho is surrounded by his royal guards, a smile on his face. Friend, he cries out, you have always remained loyal to me, even when I so regretfully cast you aside. Here do I pardon you, and grant you my love throughout my kingdom from this day forth. My lord, I was banished and stripped of honor, and with great toil have I won what I possess. Thanks be to God for your grace. We can now choose if we want to become landed and gain 4 counties of his domain. We can stay an adventurer, but become loyal, or we can part ways with him and break our friendship forever. For this game, of course, we will take his friendship and loyalty, but we will stay an adventurer. We can't leave our camp behind. This is the perfect opportunity to introduce 2 minor adventurer mods that add a ton of style and flavor to our adventurer gameplay. Those are Adventurer's Beneficiary and Oathbound, and I will link both down in the description. As you can see, we can select King Sancho as our beneficiary. What that does is that, for example, if we choose the King of Navarra, we can now declare wars not only for ourselves as adventurer, but we can also declare wars for our beneficiary, so the landmass will go to him instead of us. That does not only work with landed rulers, but you can also choose family members of yourself. So for example, you could give land to family members of yours while you stay unlanded. And we will use that to wage wars in the name of our King Sancho to unite the Spanish kingdoms as much as possible. Next is the Oathbound mod. With that, we can swear an oath of loyalty to any living character. For us, that of course is King Sancho. Unpause for a second. Here we go. Oathbound. As the halls fall silent, you kneel before King Sancho II. Your eyes steadfast and unwavering. The flickering torchlight casts elongated shadows, bearing witness to the gravity of this moment. The gathered courtiers watch intently as you begin your oath. In the light of day and the dark of night, I stand unwavering by your side. I shall claim no land and seek no title. My sword is yours, my life devoted to your cause. I am the blade in your defense, the sentinel at your gate, the beacon against those that would oppose you. I pledge my existence and honor to you, King Sancho, now and for all days to come. And so my oath begins. We will become Oathbound, gain the trait Oathbound. King Sancho becomes our oath holder. He gets a weak hook on us, and he gains the effect of Holder's Life. Due to the new relationship, he will call us into every war he is in. Doesn't matter if it's offensive or defensive. Let's have a quick look on our new Oathbound trait. It gives us +3 martial, prestige, general opinion, and of course, for Oathbound characters, 25 opinion. And our Oath holder also gains 50 opinion of us. Sancho did call us into some defensive wars. But with those done, I think it is time that we expand his territories and claim some lands of his rival brother. Let's go in and declare war for the Duchy of Leon. Ermengarde de Bourbon is seducing us. We did meet her at a tournament. Sure, why not? As expected, without any problems, we have won the war against Leon and can now enforce the demands for our king. It is looking amazing and leaves the king of Leon with only a single province. We also captured his daughters, and I think we will keep them and try to marry one of them later on. 2 of them are betrothed, but I think at least the 3rd one will be open for marriage then. Our soulmate has given us a son. A bastard after all, but still a son. She has paid dearly for that though and has been imprisoned. Yep, there she goes. She has been executed. Tragedy after tragedy is striking at us. Our beloved King Sancho II has died and his realm has been split between his 2 eldest sons, while the youngest son has become a Duke of Leon. Heartbroken, we turn to the sons of our kings and ask permission to leave. We ask for permission to travel east and establish a new trade port in the mysterious lands of Asia in their name and bring home riches and mysterious materials. And we shall win even more battles for the glory of the Jimena dynasty. So off he went, targeting the subcontinent of India. While serving as mercenary there, he learned of China and the far eastern areas of Asia. And I have learned that around 90% of you have not yet subscribed to the channel. I think that is a good moment to right that wrong. So go on, click that button. I think I found a good candidate to marry for ourselves. She is the daughter of our former soulmate. I have no idea why she is at our camp even, but she is intelligent and has just become 16. So let's marry her to ourselves. Now, before we make landfall on the Philippines, we can take the decision to create a book artifact, The Travels of Captain Rodrigo. I have traveled far and wide, been to places strange and outlandish. The wisdom I have accrued is inimitable, a treasure for any curious and learned soul. You will unlock new lifestyle perks or create a book artifact. That is exactly what we want. That will cost us 500 gold and 1500 prestige, but that is definitely worth it. I have seen wondrous things. Choose the second option for the book artifact, and looking at the inventory, we can see it will give us plus 20% monthly prestige. Our future rulers will gain plus 40% monthly lifestyle experience. With that done, it is now time to make landfall on Tondo. Tondo shall become our new capital province in the future. It is part of the Duchy of Tondo, which is pretty central on the Philippines. And I think we will take Tondo, Visayas and Sandao on the bottom left and will form a new kingdom out of those 3 duchies. Most of the rulers over here on the Philippines are part of confederations. As we can see, we have multiple confederations over here and they are going up to 11k men overall. And every confederation member is automatically called if we take one of them. We will deal with the stronger ones later on. For now, let's claim our future capital. I didn't even realize, but it seems like their army spawned right inside of us. So we are actually at 100%. With that peace deal, we will adopt the tribal government for now, but we will feudalize as soon as possible. And here we are. In the county of Tondo, we have made landfall. As a next step, let's get rid of the other 2 members of their confederations. They are right next to our capital, so that are high priority targets anyway. I've marched our armies even further south and conquered the Duchy of Sandao, as the 2 counts over there weren't part of any confederations. They were easy picks. Next up is the Tondo Confederation, which holds the lands of the Duchy of Visayas and some remaining lands of the Duchy of Tondo. We will keep declaring wars on the rulers that are closest to us, just rush them down and siege their provinces before their troops can all gather and unite. Okay, some years have passed and our plans have worked out very well. We hadn't a single defeat in battle and now largely control all the lands we want for our new kingdom. Only this county over here of Samar cannot be taken right now, as the ruler had 2 counties and we have peace with them. I think we should now create all the duchy titles of the land we have united. So the Duchy of Tondo, Sandao and Visayas. And that should fulfill all the requirements for a custom kingdom. Yeah, okay, it actually does, but we have not enough gold. So let's see if we can ransom some prisoners and actually also ask our head of faith for gold. Very well. Now let's found the new kingdom. Gather the realm. The Tondo Court. Yeah, sure. We will rename that in a second. But here we are, having established a new kingdom. With that, there are now 3 kingdoms on the Philippines that hopefully will allow us to create a new empire in the future. I have quickly redesigned our realm. We are now known as the Kingdom of Nueva Castilla, and I've also renamed all of the counties and duchies in our realm, trying to use most of the known Spanish names for the Philippines when they historically colonized this area. And wherever I couldn't find something, not even with the help of AI, I just kind of made new names up for these areas. So we now have the duchies of Sancho Real, Paragua and Visayas State Visayas. And we also have multiple county names changed. Some have stayed the same, where it is known that even under Spanish rule, the names didn't change. And I've renamed our capital to Nueva Vivar, honoring basically ourselves and our background. It is important to note, however, that we are only formally assigned as king, as we rule those lands in the name of the Jimena dynasty. To represent this, we have adopted the Castilian COA combined with a symbol of reed mace, which we have found en masse in our new bay and which will become the new symbol of our lands. Sadly, since we crossed India, all of our envoys got lost and we haven't heard a single message from the homelands. That led us to the realization that we have to work with the locals and try to get along with them in order to rule them, as we cannot receive backups from Spain. The Tagalog culture is the only one I find interesting, as they have the loyal subjects tradition. To get better control of those lands, we decided that our hardlining Catholic policies will no longer serve us as they are. Instead, we will formally convert to local faith and slowly over time Christianize that native faith. So we will have a grand ceremony converting to the Daoist religion and over time twist all the aspects of the faith so it fits with Christianity and basically becomes a Christian faith in all but name. Gameplay wise, that will massively boost our strength, as all the holy sites of this faith are located on the Philippines. So in the future they will all be controlled by us and we will gain massive benefits of this. Okay, let's do it then. Convert the faith. We have enough piety to do so. And the only vessel that really matters, which is our second-born legitimate son, will convert. That nearly effed up our succession, as the Daoist faith is in equal gender laws. A new day of recording starts with bad news. King Rodrigo has given up Ghost at 77 years of age, and he is succeeded by his son Philippe, who is 11 years old. He of course has an older brother, who is a bastard though. King Philippe, as you can see, already has 4 personality traits, so we have done quite a good job, and he is intelligent. Our first act as the new king is to give our brother some lands. He will receive the Duchy of Paragua down here. As you can see, we have given Artau a little COA and a house name, House Lobo. I found this COA on Reddit. I have betrothed ourselves to a bi-noblewoman who also is intelligent, so we can go up to genius in the next generation. The plan for the lifetime of Philippe is to unite all of the Philippines. So we will conquer first the north, later on the south. In the north we have 2 confederations, which are much weaker than the southern one. Let's have a look. The southern one at the moment has around 9k troops, but I think that is a weak moment, so they will grow stronger again. Okay, it took us around 10 years, I think, to get the north done. Nothing too interesting happened here, just lots of running around, catching troops and stuff. But we have done it. We have successfully united the north, and we can now form the Kingdom of Lusung. After that, I'm gonna rename and redesign titles in the north. Okay, we have done it. We have renamed once again all the counties. We've also given away those lands. Over here we have the High Chiefdom of Ilocos, which was given to a member of our dynasty. And over here we have the dynasty of San Milan, who has received 2 counties, as we don't have enough gold to form the duchy at the moment. The lands over here of Ilocos are given to the descendants of Pedro. He was the nephew of Rodrigo and was one of his friends when we started out. This family will later on form one of the 5 great families. Also the house of San Millan, who is the only house that gets land by us that is not directly descended from a member of the friends of Rodrigo el Campeador. Instead, they descend from Benita, who was the wife of Martin Antolines, who was one of the best friends of El Cid. So her daughter here is basically the half-sister of a member of the Antolines dynasty. So there is a familial connection. With that said, let me introduce you the system of the 5 great families. These 2 families and the House of Lobo, which we already landed, will form 3 of the great families. And then we will have 2 more, which will be landed down in the south. One, the House of Antolines, descending from Martin Antolines, and one, the House Fannius, descending from Alvar Fannius. The first cool thing about that, of course, is that they all really traveled from Spain to the Philippines together with us as friends or family. but also they are all related with each other and related to us, because the most people descend from one of the Perigeux sisters, which were the daughters of our original soulmate, if you remember. We married one of the daughters, and two of our friends, after each other of course, married the other one. We have also renamed the kingdom tier in the north of course, which is now the kingdom of Nueva Galicia. We have the Galician coat of arms and again the reed mace quartering that. With that we now have Nueva Castilla and Nueva Galicia, and in the south we will gain Nueva Leon. The Southern Confederation really is strong. We will probably need to hire mercenaries to fight them. At the moment, if we attack this guy, he brings up over 10k troops, and they could possibly also hire holy orders, I guess. So yeah, that really will be a bit harder than the northern ones. Anyway, we want to try it. We will claim a whole duchy over here. The Duchy of Butuan will grant us massive land gains. Thankfully, they have split up all their troops over our beautiful isles, so we can pick them up one by one. Let's push them back to the ocean. Beautiful. With that siege done, it is all over for them. Our allies have sieged their capital down, we have sieged the neighboring province, so that was an easy win. That secures the northern half of our missing kingdom. I think it is only fair that High Chieftain Fernando gains his own house by now. He has married our mother, so his children will be our half-siblings. Please ignore that our realm is currently named Tondo. Turns out there's a bug that every time I restart my game, it is renamed. We are using a mod called Grant Cadet Branch. With that we can grant a cadet branch or grant it to one generation earlier. So his father Pedro would found the house and all his descendants will join that. We don't need it for this one. We will just let Fernando found his own house. It is only an RP mod, does not cost you anything, just lets you shape the dynasty as you wish. I customized his house as well. He is now of the House of Fernandez, and the COAs of Ilocos and Apayao up here in the north are now part of his family COA. And now the time has come to formalize the reformations we have been doing for the past decades on the Daoist faith. We have slowly introduced Christian believings and rituals into the faith and will now get rid of the rest of the heathen teachings. Tenant-wise, we will pick monasticism, unrelenting faith, and Christian syncretism. I think that makes sense because we are basically Christian faith now. For unrelenting faith, I was thinking about going with communion, just like Catholicism, but I think unrelenting faith makes sense in our current situation. So we can fight everything back. But the main orientation, of course, is Catholicism here. I also would have liked to choose a new symbol for our faith, but sadly for reformations we cannot do that. So we will simply adopt the idea that this little figure is the equivalent of Jesus Christ over here. Doctrine-wise, we are switching back to male-dominated, righteous, spiritual head of faith, and monotheistic. Basically, we have copied most of the Catholic doctrines, so down here we are switching to divorce must be approved and evangelate marriage, while we keep the bastardry. Crime doctrines, we have shunned same-sex relations, male adultery shunned, female adultery criminal, witchcraft criminal, and in the clergy doctrines we are keeping the recruitment function, but switching clerical gender to only men. Marriage disallowed. We will keep the temporal revocable doctrine, but will switch to imperial anointment. As we have lost all contacts to the Pope in Rome, our spiritual head of faith will become known as the Archbishop of the Eastern Patriarchate. So he will have total religious authority over our new faith. 6 out of 7 vessels will convert, only a single baron will not. That is not too important for us, but the great houses will convert. That is important. Reform the faith. Here we go. Daoist Reformation. That is our new head of faith. We will soon try to grant him lands next to our realm or within our realm and vassalize him. Most times with these small faiths that actually works, but we will simply have to try out. I'm just not sure yet what province we shall give him. As we are now part of an organized faith and we have reached maximum tribe authority, we can adopt feudal ways. For only 200 prestige, all our vessels will change to feudalism and all our tribal holdings will become castle holdings. A new era, long live Nueva Castilla. Okay, I think we will grant our head of faith the province of Calatman over here. That is a holy site for our faith, so it is stylish. Let's see if we can vassalize him. Okay, let's recalculate. Okay, now we can. Here we go. He has become our vassal. Very nice. With that, we can now also appoint him as priest to our council. Spiritual head of faith always have high learning skills, so it is pretty OP to have them actually as court priest. He will now start converting our realm to our new reformed faith. Let's have a last look on him. I have just redesigned his title to the Eastern Patriarchate. And I've also used the mod RIT Simple Manager, Custom Address, and Nickname and House to redesign his title. As you can see, he is now named Archbishop, just as we wanted, so he is not called High Shaman any longer. We also now have the option to consecrate our bloodline. By showing sufficient devotion and gathering the favor of the clergy, I can ensure that my dynasty is forever enshrined as a holy bloodline under divine protection. That will grant us the Paragon trait. Our faith gains 25 fervor, our dynasty gains 500 renown. All of that for 2.5k piety that we won't need for anything else in the near future. Alright, we have successfully conquered the last missing parts of the Philippines. That concludes our conquests for now. We have formed the Kingdom of Nueva Leon down here, again with the Leon COA and the Reed Maze quartering that. Sadly, we cannot found a new empire because we have not the RAM size for that. I haven't thought about it earlier, so I need to think about that. We as well have renamed the titles in the new kingdom and have given them away to the last two great houses. So the House of Fanias rules Mindanao and the House of Antolines rules San Jose. With these two and our other vassals over here in Paragua, House Lobo, House Fernandez, and House San Millian, as well as our Patriarch or our Archbishop, we have set up the realm and vassal structure for the coming century. Our faith conversion is going quite well. Everything that is not of our faith has just been newly conquered. And we also have reached 40% cultural acceptance with the Tagalog culture. I would say let's form a hybrid culture right away. We are calling the culture Filipino. The inhabitants of our islands call themselves that now for quite a while. Basically, they think of themselves as the loyal people and vassals of Philippe. We will keep the Iberian heritage and the Iberian language. That leaves us with the stoic ethos of the Tagalog culture. I would have liked to choose the bellicose one, but I think stoic also fits well. It is a bit more defensive, but should work for us. Tradition-wise, we basically keep every tradition of the Castilian culture and add the loyal subjects of the Tagalog culture. We will leave the tribal traditions of the Tagalog behind, so the Maritime Way and the Barangay Confederations will not be picked up by us. That leaves us with 6 out of 7 traditions, so we can adopt a new tradition once the culture is formed. In the aesthetics, we will go all the way with the Castilian aesthetics. 14 out of 14 vessels will convert. That's nice. So let's form our hybrid culture. Only our realm capital did convert, but we will now work on our own territories, while we will give our vessels the vessel directive to convert their culture for every vessel that already has converted the faith in all of their provinces. Let us now also add the 7th tradition that I promised to you. For that, we will add the Seafarers tradition. The Seafarers tradition is pretty OP for us in this playthrough. It will increase control growth and levies and man-at-arms size in counties that have the trade port building. As we have only coastal counties in our realm, that basically means we can build trade ports in every county and every county will increase the man-at-arms size, so that is worth every single prestige we invest in this. Let's pick it up. It will take 5 years to establish the tradition. I've decided to form an empire title via debug mode. For that, I have loaded in the advanced cheat menu mod, where we can by one click activate the debug mode. You could of course also do that via starting options in the Steam settings. In the debug mode, we are gonna bypass requirements that will allow us to take any decision even if we don't fulfill the requirements. And here we are now going to found a new empire. As you can see, we fulfill every other requirement. We have enough gold, we have enough prestige, we have enough piety, so it is really only the RAM size we are missing. For me, it is important to point out that this has no gameplay impact for us whatsoever. This is only an RP decision to do that. We, gameplay wise, don't need the empire title. I just don't want the plan I've laid out for us in the future to break up. It comes at the cost of the achievement availability, but we are not hunting achievements in this gameplay anyway. So let's go on and found the empire tier. Our new realm shall be known as Las Islas Felipinas. That is the historical name, if I'm correct, that the Philippines first received when they were named after King Philippe. Of course, King Philippe of Spain, not of the Philippines, but that fits in with our RP. For the coat of arms, I've decided to take a triangle with the Galician, Leonese and Castilian COAs. Centered, we have a shield with the reed mace on it. Before we play any further, I will deactivate bypass requirements once again. I will deactivate the debug mode and I will restart the game and start it without the cheat menu. I've used that pause to also redesign our ruler title. I've decided that we are not an emperor but a king. So we are only using the empire tier, but are known as King of the Philippines. We have used the mod RIT Simple Manager once again, like for the Archbishop. I have not only renamed the empire tier, but also the kingdom tier. So our kingdom tiers are now known as viceroyalties. So we have the viceroyalties of Nueva Castilla, Nueva Galicia and Nueva Leon. In case we ever gonna give them away, the rulers will be known as a viceroy. You may ask yourself, why even forming an empire title if we don't claim the title? Here's the thing, King Philippe has been born in China when the contact already was lost, so I think the point of creating an empire title is to promote the ascension to rule in his own right. He is now formally being crowned king by the Archbishop in his own name and not in the name of the Jimena dynasty anymore. Our ruler is close to death and I just wanted to point out how I am dealing with multiple heirs at the moment. I am granting city holdings to all our younger sons besides the primary heir, and due to the fact that they are Republican rulers, they are out of the line of succession. Maybe a bit gamey, but I think it is also reasonable to think that's the way it's simply handled in our new realm. King Philippe the Shrewd is dead, our naming father has left us. The reign of his son King Jimeno will be focused on economy and building, I think. As part of our new building doctrine, we are also establishing duchy buildings now. I have chosen to go with the military academies that will increase the size of men-at-arms, give us men-at-arms recruitment costs, army gold maintenance, and if we have a look on the later stages, we can actually see that this will go up to 30% men-at-arms recruitment costs, 5% army gold maintenance, and +3 size of men-at-arms regiments. Also plus 75% knights effectiveness. That is crazy. We will build that in both of our duchy holdings. Looking at the cultural promotion, we can see that the directly neighboring provinces of our capital are converted already. We are going to improve the development in our capital now for a bit before returning to promoting culture in the rest of our realms. Our neighboring Sulawesi realm has declared an invasion for Nueva Leon. They are not weak. They have double the troops we have, so that is actually gonna be a fight. We have engaged some of their troops over here right after disembarking. We really have to be careful here. They have the numbers, so we have to be smart. I think let's go over here to Tamantaka and always hunt the smallest bits we can find. We have another opportunity to crush half the troops. We have to be fast though. They have reinforcements down here. Okay, our special mercs are joining us. We can do that. Oh yeah, that's a big win. Oh, they are all coming in. That's a big, big win. Nice. Right, we've just won a few more battles. And theoretically, we could now offer white peace. But I am thinking, and maybe that's a bit greedy, but we could now also go for 100%. Let's see. Yeah, we may have been a bit greedy. We were up to 89%, and with that we have lost more than 10% war score. We have just lost our mercs. We are deeply in debt. I think that is not gonna happen. Maybe it is time to just go for white peace. Hooray, we have defended our homelands. For that, we have become known as the Longsword. You've studied the blade when others were feasting. I'm not sure that we were on the battlefield, to be honest, but I see we are an aspiring blade master, so that makes sense. Okay. Rise of the Mongols. Finally, that is what I was waiting for. I'm more than interested to see how fast they will expand and if they will actually reach us. That would be the final challenge for us to withstand the Mongol invasion. Let's see how they are doing, and we will now have the task to boost our economy so we can afford a sizable army. In preparation for the Mongol spawn, we have also created a holy order, so they may have time to expand a bit more until we actually get in conflict. The Mongols are doing quite well. In only not even 20 years, they have expanded to Russia and have reached Korea. In the meantime, we have built up our capital as far as possible and have started upgrading our other provinces as well. In every Filipino province, we've also started building up every holding slot. The Khan is dead. Let's see what he has achieved in his lifetime. Alright, so they have conquered Japan. That's interesting. They have conquered Xia and are bordering Persia over here. Alright, that's a good start. Just as we reached a monthly balance of 100 gold, we have gotten cancer and in the treatment also become a eunuch, so we are close to dying. Our capital is at 49 development and even our surrounding provinces are growing fast now. We ourselves have 2 more provinces to convert to our culture. Then there are also 3 vassal counties and the county of our archbishop. There's another war declared on us. However, with our monthly balance now, we can easily afford all the mercs we need to defend this. So the army size itself doesn't matter for us anymore. Not really, at least. For this and at least most of the future wars, we are now only going for white pieces. It's simply not worth it hunting their troops down for like 500 gold. We are doing that in 5 months by ourselves. So let's just get rid of the wars. The Mongol Empire has grown quite a bit since we last had a look on them. As you can see, their Kagan is 17 but is incapable, and also of the Maturidi faith, but they are controlling Hindustan and Persia. It is gonna be interesting to see if they stay united for another 1 or 2 generations, so they can actually expand even more, or if they will scatter once this ruler dies. Interestingly, there is a Seljuk conqueror right inside of them, but I mean, what is he gonna do as long as the Mongol Empire stays united? Today is a great day for the Philippines. As the old king is dead, King Philip III rises to the throne, and as you can see, we have successfully continued our breeding programs. He's Herculean, genius, comely, and pure-blooded. Pure-blooded comes from his mother, and comely actually comes from the Blood Dynasty perk, architected ancestry, where we have chosen that one. As we now have 1 trait of every congenital tree and have maxed out at least 1 of them, we can strengthen our bloodline, giving us the strong blood modifier, which will increase our chance of inheriting good traits and gaining new traits, also giving us a small health bonus. The strength of Osorio. We are known as the Bloodfather. While we were minding our own business, the Mongols have lost some lands over here, but on the other hand, they have subjugated the Byzantine Empire. Our conversions are fully done. religion as well as culture, and most of our holdings are now maxed out. And Philippe has had enough of the constant invasions and threats from the outside world, so he is going to recruit an army. Thanks to our cultural tradition and the level 6 of the trade port buildings, every single trade port now gives us +2 men-at-arms regiments, or size of +2, could possibly even go up to +3 at level 8. And if we now look at our men-at-arms and let the inheritance recalculate, we can see that every regiment can go up to the size of 32 at the moment. So that is what we are gonna spend our money in over the next months and establish a real Philippine army. Okay, we might have gone a bit far with that. We have 39k troops now with a 4-star quality, and we've spent around 15 to 20k on this army. As you can see, every single regiment is maxed out besides the siege engines. I was hoping for the trebuchets, but we haven't unlocked them yet, so I guess go in and also just spam the mangonels up to the top level. Here we go. And now let them refill. After that, I think we have to go on an offensive campaign as the Mongols are simply not coming for us. So we will go and make the Song our tributaries, seek our challenge there, and after that, if the Mongols are still alive, even go for a tribute of the Mongols. We have tributized the Taiwanese as a stepping stone for ourselves, and now the time has come to humble the Song dynasty and let them pay a tribute to the mighty Spanish Philippines. However, they are bringing in around 90k troops and tons of gold, so that is going to be a real challenge. Our Holy Order has expanded as we hoped, so they are bringing in 4.4k troops now with massive armored horsemen. First battle of this campaign is going to happen. They are landing on us with 80k troops. We should easily have that. Yeah, the disembarkment was simply too much for them. Here we go again. We are slowly losing supply. That scares me a bit. That could be a real problem if we continue to fight them down here. But for now, we are still good. Okay, we've reached 100% just before they were able to de-siege the province down here. As you can see, I've shipped our army to the north because we really lost a lot of troops by attrition. And with that, we can now end it. The Song dynasty has been tributized by the Philippines. Look at that. They are looking so much better in yellow. And that brings us actually up to 485, 217 from tributary taxes. And with a new fresh stack of 39 trebuchets, let's go in again and try it with the Mongol Empire. They are having some problems already, and the ruler is at 58 years, so I hope he will live long enough to become our tributary and they don't split up if he dies. That has to be freaking karma. Collapse of the Great Khanate. The Mongol Empire is no more. Yeah, they've now split up. Mongolia, the Blue Horde in Japan, the Chagatai, Golden Horde, Red Horde. Yep, the empire's done. Just to prove our supremacy, we are gonna tributize Mongolia and the Blue Horde. Our future heir and grandson has been born, and he is the chosen one. He is pure-blooded, beautiful, genius, and Herculean, so he has maxed out every single congenital tree. The Blue Horde actually wanted to put up a fight. I mean, they didn't stand a chance, but at least they tried. With enforcing our demands on the Blue Horde, we have proven our dominance in the East Asian region. Mongolia, China, and Japan are all bowing to us. With that, we are up to nearly 600 gold per month, and King Philippe III is only 50 years of age. In his realm, he still has the 5 great families serving as his vassals, honoring the friendship and familial relations that the founding fathers once embraced. Over in Spain, the dream of El Cid and Sancho has nearly become reality, as most of the Spanish kingdoms are united under a member of the Jimena dynasty. Their main rivals are the Zirids of the Xanxia realm. We have played as 6 rulers over the last centuries, and of course have started out with King Rodrigo the Campeador. That is where we are gonna leave it. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please consider commenting, liking and subscribing. Thank you very much. I hope to see you in the next one.